Hi everybody, welcome to part 2 of our video on how to create your own new book journal notebook. Hi everybody, welcome or welcome back. I'm Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. At least that's the plan anyway. Today, I wanted to come and share with you part 2 in our series on creating a brand new notebook, which will be used for our book journal here in OneNote. Now, when we left off last time, we had created a brand new notebook and we added sections to it, and we took a printout and we put those printout pages in one of our sections. And so let's take a look at the computer and see what all of that looks like. Okay, here we are in the computer, and you see that I have the cover of my notebook here, and I've added a title to the cover page, which I just love these beautiful greens with little pops of red and yellow. They're just very pretty to me. These particular stickers are from a pack called Autumn Splendor, which I will link in the description below. And remember, the notebook that you see here in the background, that's from DCP Digitals. Again, I will have their link in the description below. I just think they work really well together, and I like it a lot. So that's what I'm going to use for my book journal for now. But one of the beautiful things about digital planning is if I ever change my mind, it's not that hard to change. I could change up the title, I could change up the stickers, I could change it all if I want to, and just copy and paste the information into a new notebook. And that's what I want to show you how to do today. So if we take a look here at the cover that we have created on the screen, you can also see the second page in this section was our index page, which currently has nothing on it because I haven't added anything to the notebook yet. And then we went to page number 3, and you see on this page, I just put a little pack of sticky notes on the side as a graphic. But we also, just in review, learned how to add a link into our notebook for those of you who like to add links. If you would like to see how we created all of this that we've done so far, I will put a link up above to the first book journal notebook so that you can go back, check that out, and get caught up with where we are, and then come back and watch this one. One thing I did notice when I was flipping through is the word index as a tab over top of the old index tab needs a little fixing. So what I want to do here is all I'm going to do is highlight that whole word index, and I'm going to add some highlighting behind it. Now, my notebook is green and the index tab is a golden color. I could pick something like this rust color, but that might be too dark. I think I'm going to try this dark green and see how that works. I think that might look okay. And then my index word is a little bit easier to see. Remember, because it's a link, if I click on it, it takes me right back to the index page, which is kind of cool. But again, I don't really need that because I have all of my pages listed over here on the side. But for those of you who like to add links, and there are appropriate times to add links, that's something that I wanted to show you. Okay. I also created a section for my discussion questions, which you see there's nothing in there at the moment, but we'll take care of that in just a few minutes. And then also a section for challenges that I have. And I'm sure that I might be adding more sections very soon. But while we're in this challenges section, let's start there, okay? The whole reason I came up with this idea to do this book journal is because of the challenges that I was thinking about doing for 2022. So let me jump over to that page and I'll show you. So in my 2022 Crystal's Life Planner that I have, there was a place to start a reading list, maybe a Some people call it a TBR, or a books to be read list. And I just started putting books in there that I heard about, that I thought were interesting, that friends recommended, that were recommended from YouTube people that I follow, that kind of thing. So I have a whole list of those started here, and I decided that I wanted to do a 365-day reading challenge. So here's my 365-day reading challenge. I got a lot of these reading challenge ideas from Ken's over on YouTube, so I'll be sure again to link her information below. But you see here on the challenge, I got a lot of book ideas that I wanted to try to implement. And so as I was collecting those, I would put them on separate pages. So here's my 365-day challenge. You just saw my TBR, or recommended books list. Then I have a 2021 reading challenge that I found as a free download for this challenge. So I thought that was cool. So I printed that out and put it in my notebook as well. Here's the Disney reading challenge that I thought was pretty cool. And then a favorite books bracket, which I know a lot of people have done in their bullet journals. Again, I saw Ken's do it, and I thought it was kind of cool. Okay, so the concept is that you put your favorite book from January, February, March, and so on the left-hand side of the page. And then on the right-hand side of the page, in this first bracket up here, you put your favorite book from January and February, which will give you one of your favorite winter books. And then March and April will give you a spring book. May and June, summer. July and August, another summer, and so on. And then you break those down and you end up with your one favorite book from the year. I thought this was kind of cool, so I took my Apple pencil and I tried to draw this out kind of, bullet journal style, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Are the boxes perfect? No. Does that bother me? No. I think it's kind of cool, and I want to check it out. So I did that as my template. And then here I've started filling that out. So I already put in my favorite book from January, and you see I wrote in the Santa suit over there. And again, these ideas came from Ken, so I will link her down below. Anyway, what I want to do while I'm here on this page is I want to gather all of these ideas, and I'm going to move them over into my book journal. So how do you do that in OneNote? Well, I already have this bottom page highlighted, so I can go up here to my books to read in 2022. I can hold down the shift key and click enter, and you see that highlights all of those challenges that I have. Then I could simply go down here to copy or move. And it says, where do you want to move them to, or where do you want to copy them to? Well, I want to go to my new notebook, which happens to be all the way down here at the bottom. And if I open that up, you can see there's my section for challenges. So I'm going to click challenges, and I'm going to say move. I'm going to put all of those there. I may bring some of them back into my 2022 planner just so I have them for quick reference, but for now I'm going to move all of them. So I click move. They disappear from my pages over there. And if I go and look in my book journal under challenges, now there are my books to read in 2022 and my 365-day book challenge, and all the way down to my bracket that I've started. So moving pages around in OneNote is that easy. I love it. I love it. It makes my life so easy. It is so much easier than having to recopy things from bullet journal to bullet journal, or page to page, or notebook to notebook. So I just think it's great. Digital planning is my friend. Now, those are the things that I knew that I had from the most current planner that I have. Then I have to figure out where else I have information. So if I go up here to my search bar and I type in the word book, and you will see all of these pages come up that have book either as part of them or in the title. So right here I have, for example, the very first top is The Wizard of Oz. Okay. Now, if you look at my title for The Wizard of Oz, you see that there is a book, open book, tag there. And if you've heard me talk about tags before, most of the tags that I've talked about in the past are the little checkbox tags, so that if you do something, you can check it off when you're done. Well, I've also talked a little bit about reference tags, and this open book is one of my reference tags. I usually put it somewhere on the title or on the page of every single page that I have, or every single listing for a book that I have. It just helps me find things a little bit easier. I can go to my tag summary, I can look for those book tags, and they will show up. Okay. Should I show you how to do that? No, I've showed you summaries enough. We'll just go on. If you'd like to see how to do a book summary page, leave me a comment and I could do a video on that as well. Okay, so here you see, for example, I have my page on The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And The Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite books. And you see I have an original illustration there. I have one of the original covers here. And then I also listed the differences that are in the movie. I have some discussion questions highlighted that I wanted to ask during our book club. So some of these discussion pages have been used with students in the past. They've been used with students that I've tutored in the past. They've been used with book clubs, either teen book clubs or adult book clubs that I've run in the past. So it's really kind of a compilation of all kinds of things that I've done in the past with various books. And I really feel like it's just a nice place to be able to put all of these things together. Okay. Now, you'll see that this particular page is in my personal notebook in a section called Books. And if we jump over here and look at these pages, you see that everything in this section has to do with books. So, books that I read in the Bewitched by Chocolate series. This one is a book called Angels at the Table. And again, you see that book tag there. This was a book that was written by Debbie McComber, which I can never pronounce her name. I apologize. But you see that I have discussion questions here, but I also have notes because she talks about these angels being people that look like me, or young people, or beautiful people, or, whatever. And that got me thinking. We were reading this book for our church book club, and we were looking at how angels are described in the Bible. And so I went ahead and looked up that reference, and I found pictures here of what I think would be a good representation of what the Bible says that the angels might look like. And you see here that I also have documented where this information came from, so that if I need to go back and reference it again, I can do that. But you see I have things for Little Women, and you have different quotes on reading, and I have lists of all the Jan Karen books that I've read. And then I found my book journal original that I created in 2017, which I'm going to use again because it's a good one and I loved it. So you see here that I filled it out for Can't Wait to Get to Heaven and The Boys in the Boat. And so I like this particular format, so I'm going to use that again in my journal. But rather than moving all of these pages at one time, I can move the entire section. Okay, let me show you how to do that. If I go up here to the section and I click on the section, I can come down here and there's the same copy and move button. So I'm going to click move. It's going to come up and say, well, where do you want to move that to? And I can go all the way down here to my books journal, and I can go, well, there's all kinds of things in here. Do I want to put them all in my discussion questions? Yes, I think I will put them there, and then I can move things out from that section if they don't belong there. So I'm going to say move. And you're going to see, if I go back to my personal notebook, that whole section on books is gone, and it is now in my book journal section. So I moved the entire thing there, and all of those things are still there. There's the Bewitched by Chocolate, there's the Little Women, there's the Jan Karen books, here's the book journal original, Can't Wait to Get to Heaven. All of those things are now there in my book journal. Yay! It makes life so much easier. Okay, now let's take a look by going to our search button and seeing what other things we have that might not be in my book journal yet. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to scroll down here. Best Love Books is in my book journal. Books and Movies is in my book journal. Book Resources, let's take a look at that page. Create your own classic list of books. And that's just a list of the classics. You know what? We could copy that page. So let's see if we right-click. And in this case, I don't want to take it out of this shared notebook that I share with another teacher friend of mine. So in this case, I want to just make a copy of it. So I'm going to hit copy. And I'm going to say I want to put that in my book journal. And I'm going to make a copy of it. And then when I go back and look at my book journal, the page called Classics should be there. At the bottom of this section, yes. And there it is. Okay? All right, let's go back to our search and see what else we need to move. Let's see. Book journal, book journal. My CCL notebook is for Crystal Clear Life, and that's a video, so I don't need to move that one. There's a book log in my Christmas planner, but I don't think that I need to move that one. Let's see, here's 2020 book reading planner. Okay. So this is one that I did that was a printout from someone, and I simply took my Apple Pencil and wrote down the books. I think I will go ahead and I will make a copy of that one as well. So I'm going to go up here to copy or move. I'm going to say put it in my book journal, and I'll put it in that generic book section, and I'll make a copy of that. And then I can go back up here and keep checking out my searches. So you see how easy it is really to find those things and to move them around. Let's see. The book review template that I did last year, which is here, which I really love. This one works great as well. So I'm going to make a copy of that. Let's see. Right click, copy or move. Actually, I can move the whole thing in this case. I can say move it again to my book journal, and we'll put it there, and we will say move, and there it goes. Back to book. Anything else that I need to move? Looks like most of them are now in my book journal, which is fantastic. Some of them I've left in shared notebooks. Some of these are stickers. So for example, if I look there, that's my book review template, so I don't need to move that. There's a blank one of those reading planner printouts that I have. And that's the shared notebook. I did that one, The Dangerous Book for Boys. Oh, what a great book for kids. I'm going to make a copy of that one too. Dangerous Book for Boys. I'm going to copy that. I want to take that to my book journal, which is right up here at the top. And I'm going to say make a copy. All right. Now, when I go and look at my book journal, you see now I have all of these pages. And there's the Dangerous Books for Boys that just came in. I have all of these pages now that I can move around to the different sections and where they need to go. Okay? All right, so let's start back up here at the top. And let's start with the graveyard book. This page happens to be a book discussion page. So guess where that's going to go? That's going to go in book discussion. So all I have to do at this point is simply say to move this, and I want to move it to discussion questions and say move. And now when I look in discussion questions, there's the graveyard book. Okay, so I'm simply shuffling these pages around. It's like having a 3-ring notebook and opening the notebook and taking papers out, closing the rings, moving it to another section and putting it in. It's that easy. It's that easy to move things around in your notebook. Okay, so that about does it for me for this video. All I wanted to show you today is how to go through other notebooks that you might have that have information in them that you need, and how to copy or move that information into a different notebook. You saw today that we moved pages within a section or from section to section within one notebook. We also took an individual entire section from a totally different notebook and brought it into our book journal notebook. So it really is very flexible to move things around in OneNote. I'm amazed, and I'm going to keep organizing and playing with my pages that I have. And in our next video, you're going to see me take that original template page and put it on one of those pretty notebook pages in the front of this section. Okay, well, if you have found value in anything that you've learned today, please give me a thumbs up. A like really is the best compliment that you can leave me, and I do appreciate each and every one of you doing that. Also, leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch or if you have questions about what we've done here today. And if you haven't already, please think about subscribing. We'd love to have you as part of the community. And here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning using OneNote. Okay, until next time, bye.